100-yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A toss to Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Jackson now. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at about the 14. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now they try the right side here. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Forced out to his left, and that is incomplete here.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Right here. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. No, off. Hey! Mike's right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Hey, watch that.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost... felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Mike 52. Set the tone, defense. Defense, let's go.
Newton. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
52.
Newton now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Right to the 3. Great. Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right. 3 down. Mike 52. Got you, boy. Hey. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
Now Newton. Buying time who's left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
3 down. I got number 23. 23. 42 the mic, boys. All day, baby, all day. Kill. 8.
To the air again, Newton. Steps away to his left. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he's going to go for it all. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at...
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Another try after the first down sack. Newton, he's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
They will go for it. Now Newton. And this is caught. He hits more. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
1st and 10 at the 38.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the 1st down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the 1st down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the 1st down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
41 Mike, 41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Here we go. Hey, 41's Mike, 41's Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 41's the Mike, 41's the Mike. Check 41. Watch the run.
Jackson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
42's the Mike, boys.
Back to throw, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Panthers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Gun.
Second and 10.
Throwing on 2nd down. Newton. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. To throw on 3rd down. Newton, he's going to look deep for more. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th.
55, look at it.
They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Let's go now. Secure. Not here.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Like 41. We got to wedge that. Come ahead, Jim. 41's coming. 41's the mic. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing.
On 2nd and inches. Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
That's it. 41 mic. 41 mic. Right here. 41 mic. I'm coming. I'm coming. Hey, 41's mic. 41's mic. Yes,
To throw is Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Hey, check 24, check 24.
try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Panthers will get the football back. Elsewhere on the NFL scoreboard in Dallas. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And that'll set them back 5.
Check 180. Check 55 to Mike. Check Greg. Check tight. Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Here's Newton now on second down. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
You better be ready next time. Set 180. Set 180.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. On 2nd and 9, Newton. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ready? 41. Hey, pick your game up.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
41's coming. 41's a mic. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check, 41. On deck, pump, try. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Rush in.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
On the double. He's coming. Check in. Bound to lose one. He's checking. Crash. 22, check. 22.
They'll run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
It's just me and you.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Great. 54, right there.
Out of the gun, Newton. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
No gain on the play. Brings up 4th.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 5-yard touchdown. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. Watch the run, watch the run. That's south, baby, that's baby south.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
I'm coming after you.
On second down, this is Madison. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And it brings up 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jackson. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day.
Now it's Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now Newton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Newton to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Forced out to his left. This to Jarwin. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. He'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kicks away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. A good run got 7 on first. Here's second and 3. Now Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team.
Oh, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get an overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for Carolina, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.